Here's what's happening right now. The Capitol is emptying out after Governor Greitens delivered his State of the State address. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. The governor spoke for about a half hour, hitting on topics from employment numbers to the foster system. KOMU-8's Lydia Nussbaum was at the address. She joins us now live near the Capitol. Lydia, a lot of topics tonight, but the focus seemed to be on money, savings, and taxes.
That's right. I'm right outside the Capitol building where Governor Eric Greitens just finished his speech focusing on tax reform or cutting taxes and deregulation. One of the governor's goals is to bring jobs to Missouri. He believes deregulation is one way to do this. Greitens also announced he wants to cut taxes, creating, quote, the boldest tax reform in America.
Yet one of the best investments we can make in Missouri is also one of the most straightforward. Cut taxes and put money back into the pockets of the people of Missouri.
Governor Greitens said he was proud the state did not raise taxes this past year. He also said next week he will lay out a tax cut plan that he says would help what he described as the hardest working families in the state. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Lydia Nussbaum, KOMU-8 News.
Shortly after the governor's address, Democrats delivered a pre-taped rebuttal. The House Minority Leader, Gail McCann-Beatty, criticized the governor for not releasing a budget 2 years in a row. That's a break with past traditions. The Kansas City lawmaker has other concerns as well.
Governor Greitens markets himself as a political outsider dedicated to cleaning up state government. During his first year in office, however, Governor Greitens' administration has been stained by ethical failings, disdain for the law, and a complete lack of transparency.
Among other examples, she mentioned an attorney general's investigation into Greitens' staff using an app that deletes text messages.
Today was warm and sunny, but Kenton is tracking a winter weather system for tomorrow. Kenton, what can you tell us?
Emily, thank you very much. And it's still warm and breezy out there right now. 54 degrees in Columbia, 56 down in Jefferson City, 53 in Moberly. We're going to be in the 50s all night long, by the way. Winds a bit breezy, 18-mile-an-hour winds from the south in Columbia. And again, these winds staying in the 50s all night and throughout most of our morning hours, too. It's when we head towards noon tomorrow that cold front really pushes through. It's going to really plummet our temperatures. We're in the 20s by tomorrow afternoon, so a big difference from going to work and coming back home from work. Now, if we look at our storm mode index, we're going to be at a 2. That's on a 0 to 5 scale. A 2 mainly because of this ice that we're going to have a possibility for. So here's a quick look at the onset of some freezing drizzle as that cold front moves by. So 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for our western viewing area, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. for the central part of our viewing area, including Columbia and Jefferson City, and then 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. it will be the last folks that are going to see the onset of the freezing drizzle. It is going to take just a bit longer, though, for the roads to start to freeze as well because they're going to be very warm. I'll track those details, look at travel conditions for tomorrow, and track the system into the next 8 days coming up later.
Because of that forecast, Columbia Public Schools will dismiss classes 2.5 hours early tomorrow. We have a few other delays reported. You can find a full list of schools adjusting schedules because of the weather at our website, KOMU.com.
Local firefighters are preparing for one of their worst-case scenarios, someone falling through the ice. The weather was warm today, but that didn't stop the ice training. The Jefferson City Fire Department did drills at McKay Lake. The procedures included firefighters breaking the ice, acting as a sunken victim, and getting pulled out by other firefighters. The division's chief of training says a victim could have just 5 to 10 minutes left for breathing after falling through the ice. He says the training is important because firefighters have to act fast.
Time is always going to be against us in this situation. We're not going to find out about it as quickly as we'd like, so we need to be on the ice and to the victim as quickly as we can, and that's one of the things we're focusing on is how do we get to that victim.
On ice, activities such as skating are prohibited at Jefferson City Public Lakes. Firefighters say the best way to stay safe is to stay away. A day after mudslides destroyed homes and left at least 15 people dead in Southern California, rescuers set off in search of the missing. Torrents of mud rained down from mountains left bare from last month's wildfires. Rescue workers say at least 300 people were caught by debris or are unaccounted for.
President Trump sat down with his cabinet today. One of the biggest topics, immigration. NBC's Blaine Alexander reports.
is a record also.
President Trump's first cabinet meeting of 2018 kicking off with a familiar tone.
I don't think any administration has done what we've done.
But today, a new focus on immigration. After yesterday's televised negotiations that angered some in his party, the president now working to clarify.
Securing our border, including, of course, the wall, which has always been included, never changed.
And President Trump saying this about any action on DACA, the law protecting thousands of undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children.
Any bill we pass must improve jobs, wages, and security for American citizens, the people who elected us.
President Trump also blasting the country's libel laws on the heels of an explosive White House tell-all book, Fire and Fury.
Our current libel laws are a sham and a disgrace. You can't say things that are false, knowingly false, and be able to smile as money pours into your bank account.
Later, at a news conference with Norway's Prime Minister, President Trump sounding off once again on the Russia investigation led by Special Counsel Robert Mueller.
There is collusion, but it's really with the Democrats and the Russians, far more than it is with the Republicans and the Russians. So the witch hunt continues.
The president now calling on Republicans to take control of the investigation.
That was Blaine Alexander reporting when asked whether he would sit down with Special Counsel Mueller for an interview. The president did not give a direct answer.
Tonight we have more information about the case involving the shooting death of Anthony Warren at Waffle House. Charges filed against one man and a lawsuit against another. KOMU-8's Olivia Gerling has been looking into both developments and tells us who's involved. Olivia.
Emily and Jim, the mother of Warren's children, filed the wrongful death lawsuit today. It names both the Waffle House and the man known as RM, who's the security guard who shot Warren. I reached out to the lawyer representing the woman who is suing, but I haven't heard back yet. However, I did talk to the lawyer representing Warren's family. She says she and Warren's mother are currently working on a statement in reaction to the lawsuit. Also, we learned today charges were filed against another man who was involved in the event. Matthew McMillan faces second-degree murder charges. Police do not believe McMillan actually shot Warren, but they say he shot someone else during an argument. He's being charged in Warren's death because he committed a felony in connection to a killing. Warren's family wants the security guard to be charged as well. During protests last night, they said police aren't doing enough.
My cousin was an innocent bystander, and he needs that justice. It's not like he was a criminal. He wasn't doing nothing illegal. He wasn't doing nothing, minding his own business. 30-year-old man died for what? For what reason?
Police are still looking for McMillan. They say he is armed and dangerous. His bond has been set at $1 million. In the studio, Olivia Gerling, KOMU-8 News.
The family of a Columbia man shot and killed near Clark Lane last year is suing the alleged shooter. Cameron Carruthers was shot last May during an argument with Ricky Gurley. Carruthers' friends have maintained Gurley shot him while he had his hands up and was unarmed. Gurley faces a federal gun charge, but has not been charged with Carruthers' death. Carruthers' family is suing Gurley and his private investigation business for wrongful death. An autopsy is scheduled tomorrow for a Sedalia area woman who died in an overnight shooting. It happened at the Western View Estates Trailer Park. The Pettis County Sheriff and coroner confirmed she is 21-year-old Cassandra White. White had 2 young children who were at home at the time of the shooting. They were not hurt. No arrests have been made.
The Substance Abuse Advisory Commission spent more than half of its meeting today discussing a city resolution that would endorse the Missouri Medical Marijuana Initiative. The Columbia City Council introduced the bill in November. If passed, the council will ask its representatives in the General Assembly to push for marijuana legislation. The Advisory Commission will wait until its next meeting, February 14th, to take any action. Members want to learn more about the pros and cons of legalization.
Coming up, Olympic officials inch closer to North Korea's participation in the Winter Games.
Plus, how thousands of tourists got stuck in the Swiss Alps for 2 days.
Track storms wherever you are. Download the free KOMU-8 Weather and Traffic app for your phone and tablet.
Woodman Engineering has been family-owned for over 85 years, servicing, repairing, and installing furnaces in Jefferson City and the surrounding communities with reliable service and fair pricing. Woodman specializes in residential and light commercial and is a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Your home's comfort keeper. Visit woodmanengineering.com.
This Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. Triple the fun at Slumberland's 3-day sale. Get an extra $50 off your total purchase of $2.99 or more, including sale prices. Get up to 65% off. And that's not all. Pay no interest for 3 years. An extra $50 off your total purchase. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. The 3-day sale at Slumberland. It's a good life.
Credit challenges? Been turned down for a car loan? We have easy financing approval and affordable payments just for you. And right now at JD Byrider, we'll match your cash at delivery up to $1,000. Bring $300, we'll turn it into $600. Bring $500, we'll make it $1,000. Bring $1,000, we'll make it $2,000. And backed by a 36 zero deductible warranty. Get to GoJDB.com. You could be driving today.
JD Byrider. Still shopping for those new appliances? It's time to buy at the Downtown Appliance Home Center New Year's Sale. John?
Hey, it's going on now.
All the great brands, including GE, are right here in our showroom.
We sell more GE than anybody.
With sale prices that make it easy to buy.
Low prices? Compare ours.
The New Year's Sale at Downtown Appliance Home Center, East Broadway, Columbia. Gene, did you have something else to say?
Open 7 days, including Sunday!
For years, trial lawyers had their way, clogging Missouri courts with an avalanche of lawsuits. It cost jobs and hurt the economy. But thanks to hard work and leadership, new reforms will help fix a broken legal system. It's the first step in making sure the Show Me State doesn't stay the Sue Me State. We can't stop now. Support more common sense legal reform. Paid for by the U.S. Chamber Institute for Legal Reform.
Woodman Engineering has been family-owned for over 85 years, servicing, repairing, and installing furnaces in Jefferson City and the surrounding communities with reliable service and fair pricing. Woodman specializes in residential and light commercial and is a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Your home's comfort keeper. Visit woodmanengineering.com.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
Welcome back to KOMU News at 9 o'clock. Let's jump right into it. You can see where these warm temperatures are still over pretty much the entire state of Missouri in the 50s at this point. It is 26 so already in North Platte, Nebraska, and 43 up in Des Moines. So the cold air is on the way. Let's look at our temperature cast here. Let's get right into that. 6 a.m. here tomorrow morning. Now let's jump 12 hours to 6 p.m. You can see just as that cold front rolls through how rapidly we cool down already by 6 p.m. tomorrow. All of us are in the 20s. But what about the wind chill? What about our feel-like temperatures? Feeling like 50s and 40s by 6 a.m. By 6 p.m., though, we're feeling like teens and single digits. Now let's take this another 12 hours. Let's go ahead and go into Friday morning. Heading out the door for the last day of work and school for the week. We're feeling, for the most part, below zero with the wind chill. So make sure that you're kind of preparing yourself for how cold we're going to get once again, not only for Friday, but especially through the rest of this weekend. We have cold air just really surging back in and taking hold. Now, looking at precipitation, again, we're warm tonight, but by 2 a.m., some of this moisture already moving in for some drizzle or mist, and then maybe even a light passing shower here, 7 a.m., heading out the door. And then as we head towards noon, that cold front's just starting to roll through. You can see definitely where the colder air is simply because we're changing over in some of this pink, which is indicating some freezing drizzle. Likely not much actual freezing rainfall because the moisture is pretty limited. So freezing drizzle, which can still create a bit of a light glaze out there, as we know, and then some flurries moving in behind that. There's 2 p.m., here's 4 p.m., and then let's head towards 6 p.m. as well, some flurries for the rest of our evening hours. Now, remember, the ground is very warm, so that's good news. So even when this freezing drizzle starts, likely it'll take about an hour or two at least for any glaze accumulation on the ground, because that ground's going to have to also cool down below freezing. And right now its temperatures just below, about 2 inches below in the ground, is in the 40s. So that's good for us. Now, if we look at our Friday, then we're left with a lot of sunshine, but you can see those cold temperatures surging down. So temperatures hour by hour. Here's 9 a.m. That cold air, that cold front just moving into our western, northwestern viewing area. Here's noon then, just moving through Columbia, up through Mexico as well. well, getting close to Osage Beach at that point. And then if we head towards 5 p.m., already all of us are in the 20s. So that's a look just kind of hour by hour of where that cold front's moving through. So travel conditions for you tomorrow morning, nothing to worry about. Some mist, drizzle, maybe a light shower out there. Breezy too. Some gusts around 30 miles an hour tomorrow. Midday, as that cold front rolls in, remember that freezing drizzle will start things off, and some sleet's going to be possible as well, light sleeting, which is ice pellets. But again, might be a little while before those roads finally start to see some of that glaze. So as the afternoon goes on, road conditions will likely worsen, especially on, of course, untreated roads. Some roads that are treated should be okay to go. And then as we head into the evening, any roads that remain wet, even though we're seeing the accumulation or at least the precipitation stop, even though the road is still wet, it's then going to freeze over because of the extreme cold, and we could be dealing with black ice there in the evening. So I think evening is going to be interesting just because everything stops and you might think the roads are fine, but you got to be careful there. 52 though for our low temperature tonight. Hard to beat that in mid-January. 28 degrees then tomorrow afternoon is where we're going to be. Northwest winds about 15 to 20 miles an hour there. We're at 24 on Friday, then 22 on Saturday. Mostly cloudy Saturday and Sunday. Even some flurries possible on Sunday as well. And look at those low temperatures there in the teens. So you can expect wind chills in the teens, in the single digits, and in the negatives through the weekend.
We're back to a week ago.
I know,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
We rode the roller coaster and we're coming down.
Go for a walk tomorrow morning before you go to work.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the warm weather.
Kenton, thanks. Columbia Parks and Rec has closed Stevens Lake Park for ice skating and Cosmo Bethel Park for ice fishing. This is video from the lakes last week when folks were having fun. Parks and Rec says it will look at ice conditions again on Friday and then again after the 3-day weekend to see if the ice is thick enough to reopen.
Coming up, a heist that sounds straight out of a movie.
Thieves took it right to the Ritz. That's coming up.
Hi, I'm Larry Zigarelli, president of FFO Home. We're celebrating our 34th anniversary. Proud to offer top quality furniture and mattresses at the lowest prices in town. Come visit us for savings up to 50%.
Get our lowest prices ever during FFO Home's 34th anniversary. Your choice, memory foam queen lift bed combo or family size chase sectional, just $834. Save up to 50% now at FFO Home.
Where can you find a trusted locally owned pharmacy with newest conveniences? Eldon Drug Company. How does shorter wait times for those needed medicines with online ordering and an easy app for refills sound to you? That's still Eldon Drug Company. Try the convenience of their free delivery in Eldon. Stop in to see the great selection of gifts to choose from, including children's toys and garden decor. Try medication synchronization to help you grab all your prescriptions in one monthly trip. Eldon Drug Company. Local made easier.
The KOMU-8 iPhone and Android News app is brought to you by University Subaru. Download yours today.
We're here because U.S. Cellular has unlimited data.
So does my carrier.
That works even out here.
Oh.
And our total plans don't have hidden fees.
Neither does my plan.
You sure about that? Hidden fees from other carriers pop up unexpectedly and hit you. Over again.
I saw that one coming.
They'll get you every time. Get unlimited data for $40 a month with no hidden fees. Only from U.S. Cellular.
Quick, what's the first thing you think of when you need health care? We want it to be Family Health Center, primary and preventive care for the whole family. Think of us first when you get sick, need an annual checkup, for newborn and pediatric care, chronic disease management, immunizations, or referral to a specialist. We take all major insurance plans and offer discounts for those who qualify. Plan now for good health. Make Family Health Center your first choice for primary care. Now in East Columbia on Broadway Bluffs Drive. Family Health Center. Health and care within reach.
The International Olympic Committee announced today it will host talks about North Korea's participation in next month's Olympics. The meeting will be held next Saturday in Switzerland. Experts declare it's another positive step for international relations, and it follows North and South Korea agreeing that the North would send delegates to the Winter Games in Pyeongchang. Armed robbers stole millions of dollars worth of loot from the famous Ritz Hotel in Paris. Paris police say 5 robbers armed with axes broke into the hotel jewelry store and took more than $5 million in merchandise. 3 suspects were arrested, but the remaining 2 got away. How would you like an extended winter vacation? Well, that was the case for 13,000 tourists in the Swiss Alps. Heavy snow and rain left tourists stranded for 2 days. Some of the stranded guests had to be airlifted out because roads and rail lines were closed.
Mizzou hoops back on the court tonight. First half highlights against the Dogs coming up next.
Get ready. It's time to test your weather IQ.
True or false? Frost can occur even when the air temperature is 40 degrees. The answer is false. There would have to be a significant difference between the air temperature and the air temperature just above the ground for this to be true. 36 degrees is usually the highest air temperature that frost can occur at the surface.
Watch KOMU-8 News at 6 for the first alert weather IQ question of the day. Brought to you by Break Time and Jiffy Lube.
My goal now is to eventually own my own business and have a clothing emporium or my own store online. My boyfriend, he has 2 siblings that went to Bryan University, and he's like, hey, you should check the school out. It worked around my schedule like perfect. I could go to school year-round and I could finish and get my degree faster. Whenever I'm there, I feel like the teachers really care about you. Because of the training I received at Bryan University, I know now that I can reach my dreams.
My father, Eris Pardalis, grew up in Greece. When he arrived here 50 years ago, he brought with him a taste of his childhood, a delicacy he would introduce to Missouri that brought joy to the taste buds of America. Pizza. Pizza so perfect, it could only have the Eris name. Eris's Pizza. We've been building communities around delicious food since 1961 and making friends for life.
Closed captioning during KOMU-8 News is brought to you by Restoration Eye Care, a KOMU-8 caring company. Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU-8 Sports.
Hello, everyone. Mizzou basketball continues conference play tonight with a visit from the Georgia Bulldogs and co-SEC preseason player of the year, Yante Mayton. The Tigers trying to rebound from Saturday's last-second loss to Florida as the Bulldogs and Tigers do battle at Mizzou Arena right now. Jonte Porter's first start of his Mizzou career, and he scores the first bucket of the night for the Tigers. It's 4-2 here when Jordan Geist finds Reed Nico under the basket for the two-handed slam. For Georgia, they're up 7-4, missed 3, but Nicholas Claxton is there with the putback, and the Dogs take a 5-point lead. But Mizzou on the defensive end, the swat, and then Jordan Barnett picks up the loose ball, goes coast to coast to cut that Bulldogs lead to 9-6. Tyree Crump here off the screen knocks down the triple, and Georgia takes a 5-point lead. Then it's another bucket from deep, this time William Davis. Dogs in front 21-14, but here comes Mizzou. Jonte Porter backs down his defender, finishes with the little hook. It's a 5-point game. Then Cassius Robertson blocked by Claxton, but off the turnover, Jordan Geist the scoop and score. And final seconds, Robertson at first here can't hit the putback. Then it's tipped out, settles with Robertson. He has a chance to beat the buzzer. They reviewed it, and they ruled he did not get the shot off in time. Right now in the second half, Mizzou by 6. On the women's side, the 12th-ranked Tigers are on the road to Nashville ahead of tomorrow night's contest with Vanderbilt. Mizzou still riding high off of last week's upset victory over then 4th-ranked South Carolina. But tomorrow the roles will be reversed when the Tigers take the court as the favorite, and the Commodores will be the ones looking to score the upset. Before leaving town today, forward Sierra Porter talked about how Sunday's win can help the team moving forward. And Coach Robin Pingeton said there's more than meets the eye with this Vanderbilt team.
Vandy's a great team, and I really mean that when I say that. Their record is so deceiving. I'm really impressed with what I've seen on film so far. They've played they had a tough stretch with conference play out of the gates, but they're light years better than what their record looks like. They do a great job spreading out. They got a lot of different weapons. They got quick releases. They got deep shots, and it's a team that we're going to have to guard pretty much exactly opposite of our last 2 games, so we know we're going to have our hands full. Playing on the road is hard.
To hockey now, the St. Louis Blues have nearly an entire week off starting today in what you might call the hockey equivalent of an NFL bye week. The Blues are winless in their last 3 games, so that break comes at the right time. But this afternoon, they got some good news as 2 players earned their first career nods for the All-Star game. Later this month, Captain Alex Pietrangelo and center Braden Shen will represent the Central Division in the All-Star game. This marks the first All-Star selection for both players. Pietrangelo's 30 points are 6th most among NHL defensemen this season. Shen is tied for the team lead with 44 points. And that's it for sports.
All right, thank you very much. Remember that Budweiser commercial with the 2 talking frogs?
Yeah, Budweiser. Now add 2 kittens to the mix and you have our final story.
Honda knows winters can be brutal. That's why we travel to Baudette, Minnesota, to find out how the Honda Pilot, equipped with available intelligent traction management and all-wheel drive, performs in severe driving conditions. If this is how it handles here, imagine how it handles out there.
This Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. Triple the fun at Slumberland's 3-day sale. Get an extra $50 off your total purchase of $2.99 or more, including sale prices. Get up to 65% off. And that's not all. Pay no interest for 3 years. An extra $50 off your total purchase. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. The 3-day sale at Slumberland. It's a good life.
Florida teachers heard a sound coming from a drain pipe, so they called for backup. An animal rescuer lowered herself into the pipe and saw 2 kittens and 2 frogs. The school adopted the 2 kittens as class pets. The frogs simply hopped away. Frogs didn't get to join in.
I think they're fine down there in the water. All right, now here's a look at what we're following on KOMU-8 News at 10. We'll tell you how Republican lawmakers are responding to tonight's State of the State address by the governor.
Another live report from the Capitol coming up at 10. Kenton.
And remember, it's warm tomorrow morning, but then cold by tomorrow afternoon. There's another look at the timing of some onset of that freezing drizzle. And then the traffic, again, the road conditions at least are going to worsen as the day goes on, especially by tomorrow mid-afternoon through the evening. And then we are cold behind it.
That is our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night.
On air, online, on Facebook, on Twitter, on the News app, and the Weather app. KOMU 8 News. Coverage you can count on.